DMARC, or Domain-Based Message Authentication Reporting and Conformance, is a protocol that helps prevent email spoofing and protect your domain from being used in phishing attacks. Configuring DMARC records on your domain is an important step to improve email security and protect your brand. DMARC records tell receiving mail servers how to handle emails that claim to be from your domain but fail authentication checks. You can specify DMARC policies such as quarantine or reject to tell receivers how to handle unauthenticated emails. DMARC also enables you to receive reports about emails sent from your domain so you can monitor for any suspicious activity. Setting up DMARC is a straightforward process but requires updating your DNS records. Let's walk through the steps in more detail. The first step is to ensure you have SPF and DKIM properly configured for your domain. This sets the foundation for DMARC. Next, check if DMARC is already set up for your domain. This will help you understand your current DMARC posture. Set up a group or mailbox to receive the DMARC reports. These reports will provide valuable insights into your email sending practices. Prepare your DMARC record with the appropriate settings for your organization. This includes specifying your DMARC policy and where to send the reports. Finally, add and verify your DMARC record in your DNS settings. This will activate DMARC protection for your domain. The first step is turning on SPF and DKIM. Please go back 2 modules to begin the DNS authentication process if you have not done this already. If you have already done this, ensure they are correctly configured and authenticated for all third-party services you use to send email through your domain before proceeding. Checking if a DMARC policy is already configured is an important first step. Go to mxtoolbox.com and use the super tool to look up your domain's DMARC record. Review the DMARC results. This will show if DMARC is configured and what the policy settings are. If DMARC is already set up correctly, you're all set. Congratulations. If DMARC is not set up or the policy is not configured properly, you'll need to proceed to the next steps. The DMARC policy should include instructions for what receiving email servers should do with invalid emails from your domain. This helps you ensure your policy is taken seriously. Depending on the organization's email sending activity, DMARC reports can vary greatly in volume, from just a few to thousands per day. These reports provide valuable insights. They help monitor message authentication through SPF and DKIM, identify legitimate senders using your domain that aren't authenticated, and detect potential spammers. This monitoring is especially useful during initial DMARC implementation. At this point, it's important to create a dedicated email address that will be used in your public DMARC record to receive these reports. Having a designated email for DMARC reports makes it easier to manage and analyze the information they contain. The most popular email address for this use is postmaster@yourdomain.com. DMARC is a policy that defines how email messages should be authenticated and what actions should be taken when messages fail authentication checks. The DMARC record is a line of text values that specifies the DMARC policy for a domain. The DMARC record can define how strictly DMARC should check messages, and this is really up to your discretion, and recommended actions for the receiving server when it gets messages that fail authentication checks. Below are 2 example DMARC policy records. The first is a basic policy that does not outline all the potential scenarios that a receiving server may encounter with your messages. The second is a stricter policy that better outlines what should happen when an email is received that is not authenticated. The V and P tags must be listed first, but the other tags can be in any order. Let's take a look at what the potential tags are for your DMARC record. This slide defines the key tags and values used in a DMARC record. The V tag specifies the DMARC version, which must be DMARC 1. The P tag sets the policy for messages that fail DMARC authentication. None, deliver the message and log it in a daily report. Quarantine, send the message to the spam folder. Reject, block the message entirely. The PCT tag sets the percentage of messages subject to the DMARC policy, which is useful for gradual DMARC deployment, so you don't overload yourself with reports. The RUA tag specifies the email addresses to receive aggregate DMARC reports, which can be a dedicated mailbox or group that we set up in earlier steps. Note that BIMI, brand indicators for message identification, requires a quarantine or reject policy and a PCT of 100%. This slide covers additional DMARC tags that are not always necessary, but still recommended for a complete policy. The RUF tag is not supported by Gmail and is used for failure reports. The SP tag defines the subdomain policy, which can be set to none, log only, quarantine, send to spam, or reject blocked message. If the SP tag is omitted, the subdomain inherits the parent domain's policy. The DKIM tag defines the DKIM alignment policy, which can be set to strict, requiring an exact domain match, or relaxed, which allows subdomains, and is the default. The ASPF tag defines the SPF alignment policy, which can also be set to strict or relaxed, depending on your preferences. These tag definitions are important for properly configuring DMARC to achieve the desired email authentication and delivery outcomes that you are looking for. To add or update your DMARC record, sign into your domain host, which is typically where you purchase your domain. Go to the page where you update the DNS for your domain, add or update the text record with the information provided from your email service provider. The record type will always be text, and the host should be _dmarc.yourdomain.com, replacing yourdomain.com with your actual domain name. The value is the string that makes up the text record. For example, v equals dmarc1 semicolon p equals none. Set the TTL to 1 hour 3600 seconds, unless your domain doesn't allow you to modify this value, in which case just use the default setting. After setting up DMARC, it's important to verify that the text record is formatted correctly. Some domain hosts may automatically append your domain name, resulting in an incorrect format, by adding an additional version of your domain to the record. After adding your DMARC text record, you should check the record to ensure it's properly formatted without any duplicate domain names. To do this, you can use a tool like MX Toolbox. Just enter your domain, select DMARC lookup, and review the results. Verifying the DMARC record helps ensure it's set up properly and will work as expected to protect your domain and deliverability.